of the day compared to
Right?
pro day, right?
I'm telling you, where'd that sunshine go?
I know. Where did it go?
Coach, it seems like there's a lot of energy and excitement for the first day of spring ball. Just what was it like out there for you today?
Yeah, you said it. You said it. Really good energy. Love the energy, the effort, the finish, and challenge the team, challenge the program to be the best finishing team. And the way that we come out here with our energy, and that matters a lot.
What bricks are you trying to lay for the foundation this early on?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Is just showing up to the practice field every day. Like football is a different sport in that we practice way more than we play games, right? And so like this has to be everything for us in how we practice and how we compete out here. And so it really is just laying the groundwork for how we practice, how we can compete at the highest level possible in the different tempos and the different, we're in pads today. We're just in helmets, so we got to learn to make this as game-like as possible without it being real football.
How much of a difference does that make for you, given your experience here as a coach, when you start with them? Pretty much this is the first time out with the team since taking over, and then to get them kind of solidified in that foundation going into the spring, then the summer, and then of course it carrying over into the season.
Oh man, I'll tell you this: it feels good to be back on the grass. Like with all the stuff that happened that I've done since I've been here, between portal and recruiting and talking to different donors, friends of the program, all those different things. Like this is a sanctuary out here to be back on the grass and coaching ball and going through this process with our guys. Because obviously, again, this is where we make our hay. Like this is where we really learn how to go, learn how to compete, and strengthen our connection.
What was that 3 or 4 months like when you're doing all that non-coaching, non-football coaching really thing?
Yeah, no, it's all still in service of Stanford football, so it's all still like this becomes part of the motivating factor is like what we get to do out here, how we get to support our guys and like help them develop. So it's all in service of, and you just got to keep that in mind.
Just how do you feel the quarterback room is looking, kind of the unit you play, and how are those 4 guys kind of clicking early in the
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, early on with the Qs, so much of it is the operation, right? How are we getting off the sideline? How are we getting up to the line of scrimmage? How are we breaking the huddle? How are we calling the cadence? So many of our things are for the quarterback room is just making sure that we're operating efficiently, effectively as the offense gets installed. And so I thought our guys did a good job. Good command today. We didn't have a lot. I always wait to see the film. But I feel like we were relatively clean for a first day, be able to come out here and get a line and get off on the snap count, get the snap, all those things are important. So yeah, was pleased with that.
What did you like about bringing Davis in, and how's his experience? He's obviously played in big games, big environments. How does that sort of maybe translate to?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, Davis, just his impact as a human being and as a leader. Somebody who's played college football for a good amount of time, who understands, what it feels like to play in big games, knows what it feels like to play, really good teams, and knows what it's like to be in the locker room and relate to guys and connect. And so I think that's one thing that you've seen from early on is just that the role he's already taken on as a leader in our locker room. And I've told our guys, like the more leadership we have, the stronger leadership that we have, the more guys doing it, the better we'll be as a team. And so it only helps to add yet another guy who will take on a role of leadership.
You've been in a lot of football practices in your life, I'm sure.
A couple.
Is it what's the difference being the head coach at a practice?
Man,
I
get to walk around and watch everybody. That part is a ton of fun, and just think about how we can continue to bring our team together. Because I just so believe in a holistic approach to how to win football games. Right, all three phases of the ball. Getting to be a part of special teams. Walk over there and watch the D-line, the O-line, walking around during Indy. I love this element. It is a lot different for me, not just being I'm just over with the quarterbacks or over with the offense, but I'm really enjoyed my first day.
It is only your first day, but there's a big difference between press conference and everything you got to go through to get to the field.
Sure.
What do you see as maybe the biggest challenge or challenges that you face in terms of getting this program where you think it needs to be, having had a winning season in the last 7 seasons?
Yes, again, so much of it is learning how to do what we do out here, is learning how to compete out here. And I know this in my core, that if we learn how to practice and learn how to compete out here and take care of each other at the same time, we will do what we need to do on the game field on Saturdays in the fall. But it starts, and it doesn't end out here, but it starts and is so much about what we do out here and how we get down out here. And so obviously the things in preparation for that, you know, we talk a lot about our process of getting to the field and what we're going to do afterwards and how we need to study and watch film and all those different things. But so much of it is in service of like what we do out here. And so that's what I know that's where our focus is.
Just judging off of today, how would you gauge the excitement level? It seems like when guys are walking off the field, everybody's excited to go to what's next. I'm sure you guys aren't done for the day, or maybe it doesn't seem so. There are sessions. It seems like everybody's excited to be back. What do you gauge?
Yeah, really good energy. You know, and I think you get that a little bit. There's a little bit of a new school, first day of school feel, right? Because it's first day of spring ball and it's a new staff and there's some new faces around and there's a freshness to it. You know, and obviously we want to use that and lean into it and also understand that it's going to be about how we deal with adversity. It's going to be about how we are not just in practice 1, but in practice 7 and in practice 15. And when we get to the summer and when we get to training camp, you know, so it is more about stacking days and the longevity and the continuity than it is just day 1. But it has to start with a really good day 1.
One of the guys that we're talking with today is Benji Blackburn. Just kind of curious what you think he's going to bring to the team this year, kind of kind of filling the shoes that are left by Sam Roush.
Really excited about Benji. You know, just the versatility that we bring. And obviously, we've had a great history of tight ends around here, and so we know what the element of a great tight end can bring. You know, it can really put pressure on a defense to decide how do they want to defend when you have a great versatile tight end who can put his hand on the ground and block, who can run routes, who can attack you a lot of different ways and operate on the offense a lot of different ways. So excited about him. He's had a great offseason. Really excited about the whole tight end room.
It's like having Coach Shaw out here in practice, and how much have you sort of leaned on him in the last couple months?
Oh man, it was great. It was great seeing him. You know, obviously with Carter being here, we had 3 generations of Shaws here today, which was always great, and obviously just such a strong connection here with me, but also with the university. And so it was great to see him today. I was glad he was able to come out.
Anybody else?
Awesome.
Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.